This is QTV News coming to you from our studios on Caraba Avenue. I am Amudu Gajaga and thank you for joining us. First, here are the main news headlines. President Barrow received Saudi Arabia's Tourism Minister Ahmed bin Akhli Al Khatib, Special Envoy of His Majesty King Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud at the State House on Tuesday. The National Human Rights Commission and UN partners in the Gambia Tuesday commemorated the 75th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Today, the 10th of October, is World Mental Health Day, set aside to raise awareness of mental health issues around the world. The Ministry of Health and partners commenced a 4-day forum on Tuesday on polio-related integrated disease surveillance for more than 50 participants from various African countries. The Westminster Foundation for Democracy held a town hall meeting on Saturday with National Assembly members and citizens on the role of the National Assembly. Those were the news headlines, and now the news in detail. Welcome and thank you for joining us. This is QTV News. President Barrow received Saudi Arabia's Tourism Minister Ahmed bin Akhli Al Khatib, Special Envoy of His Majesty King Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud at the State House on Tuesday. As Al Sisi reports, Saudi Arabia is seeking the Gambia's support for its bid to host the 2034 World Cup.
Good afternoon. How are you? Thank you very much. Okay? Thank you. Good. I'm great.
President Barrow is making a brief return to Banjul from his village of Mankamankunda, where he is spending his annual leave, to receive the Saudi Tourism Minister Ahmed bin Akhli Al Khatib, who was on a brief visit to the Gambia as a special envoy of His Majesty King Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud. Speaking to reporters shortly after the closed-door meeting, the Saudi Tourism Minister revealed that his discussion with President Barrow centered on areas of cooperation between the two countries, as he expressed thanks and appreciation to the Gambia. The Gulf nation is seeking the Gambia's support to host the 2034 World Cup. It is also hosting a Saudi Africa Leaders Summit next month, which the envoys hopes President Barrow will attend.
Here with the High Saudi delegation as an envoy of His Majesty, the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdul Aziz, to meet with the President of Gambia and discuss areas of collaboration, whether in the development, where the Saudi Fund for Development have been funding and financing projects here in Gambia for many, many years, and we will, under the direction of the President, discuss and explore more projects. We also discussed the social investment tourism relationship. We thank and appreciate Gambia to support Saudi Arabia to host Expo 2030, and also the Gambian Football Federation to support Saudi Arabia to host the FIFA World Cup 2034. I'm very happy to be here, and this is a visit. We look forward to host the President and the delegation from Gambia next month in Riyadh, a part of the African Saudi Arabia Leadership Summit in Riyadh. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Saudi Arabia and the Gambia already share strong and long-standing bilateral ties. Saudi Arabia had and continues to be a strong and consistent development ally to the Gambia. And through the Saudi Fund for Development, is one of the largest financiers of the OIC infrastructure projects for the Gambia's hosting of the OIC Summit. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
The National Human Rights Commission, in partnership with the United Nations and the UN High Commission for Human Rights Office in the Gambia, Tuesday commemorated the 75th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The event brought together human rights defenders, diplomats and activists who reiterated calls for the strengthening of human rights institutions in the Gambia. Ansumana Esonyasi has more.
The event was characterized by speeches and songs whose lyrics highlights the significance of the UN Human Rights Declaration by a students' choir, whose members comprise young activists from several human rights clubs who donned beautiful traditional attires highlighting our diversity. Adopted on 10th December 1948 by the UN General Assembly, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights seeks to guarantee rights of all persons regardless of color, race or status. The 75th anniversary held under the theme Leveraging the Universal Declaration of Human Rights to Reduce Inequalities in the Gambia. Fatou Kinte, the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Welfare, highlighted strides made by government in upholding the ideals of the declaration. She cites the enactment of Persons with Disability Bill, amongst others, as a manifestation of government's commitment to promoting human rights in the Gambia, adding that social inclusion, empowerment and protection of women and girls, and guaranteeing of all rights remains a priority for government. And as she calls on partners to work together for more advocacy on advancing human rights, she acknowledges UN system's contribution in the Gambia.
The Gambia has also made significant efforts in addressing the plight of key populations that face stigma and discrimination. An example is the enactment for the first time of the Disability Act in 2021 that demonstrates or domesticates the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities.
Serafin Wakana, the UN resident coordinator, says UN systems in the Gambia joined the rest of the world to celebrate what she described as a remarkable journey, and went on to add that they remain committed to promoting and protecting human rights. The UN, she says, offers its unwavering support to NHRC and human rights clubs across the country. She also stressed the need for more efforts addressing inequalities, especially the rights of members of the population that face discrimination.
The United Nations in the Gambia has embarked on a year-long initiative, Human Rights 75, whose objective is to celebrate the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and contribute to concrete progress on the promise of freedom, equality, justice, and accountability.
Whilst reaffirming the UN system's commitment to supporting in strengthening human rights institutions in the Gambia, she also implores government to implement TRRC recommendations. Emmanuel Daniel Diouf, chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission, says the declaration was drafted around 4 pillars, including dignity, equality, and brotherhood. He stresses that it is important to not lose sight of the economic and social rights too. His statement was echoed by Yarikon Eribo, Tango chairperson, who also highlighted disparities, limited access to essential services, and discrimination amongst other inequities that undermine human rights, and calls for strengthening of legal instruments and fostering collaboration between government human rights agencies and CSOs.
The Universal Declaration for Human Rights is a milestone document in the history of human rights, and it enshrines the inalienable rights that everyone is entitled to as a human being.
And institutions of safeguard human rights, laws that protect against discrimination, ensure equal opportunities, and establish mechanisms for accountability are essential in reducing inequalities.
The UN Human Rights Declaration seeks for the global acknowledgement that everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security, and that no one shall be held in slavery or servitude. Slavery and the slave trade shall be prohibited in all their forms, including that no one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment or punishment. Antoine Nyasi for KTV News.
Today, the 10th of October, is World Mental Health Day, set aside to raise awareness of mental health issues around the world and to mobilize efforts in support of mental health. Jennifer Sanko has more.
This year's theme, Mental Health is a Universal Human Right, seeks to raise awareness and drive actions that promote and protect everyone's mental health as a universal human right for all. Everyone, whoever and wherever they are, has the right to the highest attainable standard of mental health. This includes the right to be protected from mental health risks, the right to available, accessible, acceptable, and good quality care, and the right to liberty, independence, and inclusion in the community. Across Africa, more than 116 million people are estimated to be living with mental health conditions. Suicide rates remain particularly concerning, as they are the exponential rates of alcohol use and abuse among adolescents as young as 13 years of age, according to the World Health Organization. We engage the public on mental health and how they protect their own mental health. For Yusuf Adamfa, social media contributes greatly to mental health issues, and he believes, therefore, that Gambians should take control of and manage their social media engagements to protect themselves and their mental health.
I feel like everybody should know yourself. Like, you should know what makes you happy. You should know positive and negative energies. So if you think there is something that if you talk about will not help you, you should not actually venture into that.
Expressing your feelings, setting boundaries, taking care of your physical health, and having a coping mechanism are examples of ways one can protect their mental health. This is how Ibu Baji protect his mental health.
For me personally, what I do to protect my mental well-being is to always try and have positive impulse running through my mentality, my brain always. That is, maybe let's say listening to scholarly advices, maybe Islamic scholars, and also educational cassette, audiobooks. They are all over the place. Yes. If you always also sit alone thinking about thoughts that are not healthy, it can also affect you mentally. Yeah. So for me, this to always also associate with people who are well knowledgeable, and then they will guide you through years life. Because sometimes when you face certain challenges, it pushes you to start thinking otherwise. So you might think it is only there for you, and it start affecting your mentality.
According to a 2007 World Health Organization report, around 12% of Gambians are likely to suffer from mental health disorder. The only psychiatric hospital in the Gambia is Tanka Tanka. The total number of patients with psychiatric conditions at Tanka Tanka from 2019 to 2020 was 1,717, and their conditions included schizophrenia, bipolar, organic psychosis, among others. Aisha Mbake wants to see every person with mental health issues in the Gambia have a home.
I can say many of them. You can see them on the streets working. They're homeless. Some of them are homeless. So we shouldn't leave them like that on the streets or somewhere in the forest, in the society. We shouldn't leave them like that. So we should join hands, even the government can help.
A study conducted in the Gambia by the National Library of Medicine in 2012 shows that family decision-making is of great importance in the lives of persons with mental health issues. The decision to go for treatment, where to go, and when to go is often seen as the responsibility of the family. This shows that the affected individual does not have the right to decide for themselves when the need arises. Through increased awareness and community engagement, these narratives will change. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Basonko.
We'll now go for a commercial break, and when we come back, we still have some more stories for you. Do stay tuned.
waaw du gis ngeen daw si ba mu amee sikki sàkkane armante mi dañoo wecci ay cafkaam ba ñu ko ubbilee siwo bi ba xet gi dugg ko cam billahi la mu yëg bari na armante ñaar fukki at ak nangam ba mu ne cëpp ci réew mi ba tey mësula wecci doxalin mësula wecci cafka bu leen ci am benn ñaari xel man mii di jaay lépp luy produit gi armante rek am naa ko am na 500 millilitres 1000 millilitres ak 5 kilos ba noppi nag am 750 ml bi nga xam ne mi ngi toj réew mi gis nga armante Eva Protect Milk bi mooy mos dolli te armante spaghetti bii ngay gis moo dàq ci spaghetti yi gis nga armante bota margarine bi noonu la gënee ci yow mi nga xamante ne yaa ngi jaay tàngana ci Johnson bi comme bi fi armante la dugal sa waa ñoddi sa kombe bi gis ngeen lii sardañ la da nga gis boobu jën bi dafa neex gis nga meew ko ndig mil bi armante ko fi indi moom mi dafa sakkan xoolal xale bi nu muy naanee banana milk bi gis ngeen flamingo oil bi dem leen ci bépp boutique bépp supermarket ci bépp marché armante ki prodogam kenn mënu koo ceeñ armante bobo ndax moo di good quality food.
From October 7th to 14th, it's the flash sale. At Batimat, we like to surprise you with breathtaking discounts. Can you imagine? Discounts up to 80%. 80% off tiles, sanitary, electricity, and lighting. Take advantage of our discounts and make your dream project a reality. Don't wait any longer. The offer is valid for only 7 days. See you soon at Batimat. Batimat, welcome home.
Welcome back, and thank you very much for joining us. This is QTV News. The Nigerian contingent of the ECOWAS mission in the Gambia hosted an Independence Day celebration to commemorate the struggles and sacrifices of their founding fathers for the liberation of their country. Umaru Lamin Choi reports.
This is a celebration of liberty and prosperity, the outcome of a hard-fought struggle by the people of Nigeria. On the 1st of October 1960, Nigeria was finally liberated from British colonial rule. Away from home, Nigerian military personnel who are in the Gambia on serving as part of a peacekeeping mission are commemorating their 63rd independence anniversary. The Nigerian economic contingent are joined by their countrymen and women in the Gambia, diplomats, Gambian security officers, and other well-wishers. The commemoration features some diverse cultural displays of various ethnic groups in their country, which represent unity, strength, and resilience of a people. This event is not only a show of a patriotic spirit by a contingent of peacekeepers, it is also an opportunity to bring together the peoples of Nigeria and the Gambia, which also gained its independence from Britain. Lieutenant Colonel Morino Joseph Bent is the commanding officer of the Nigerian contingent of the ECOWAS mission in the Gambia.
It is a day aimed at celebrating the struggles and sacrifice of our founding fathers, the history and greatness of our nation, and strength of its diversity. The history and greatness of our nation and strength is in our diversity. Thus, the essence of today's event is to bring Nigerians here in the Gambia and our gracious hosts, the people of Gambia, together in order to celebrate our National Day. It also seeks to bring two communities together as brothers and sisters living in harmony.
In a lively and interactive celebratory atmosphere, Nigerian and Gambian military personnel entertained the guests with a tug of war and some military drills, adding to the event some typical Independence Day commemoration features. The ECOWAS Special Representative and Head of ECOWAS Mission in the Gambia, Miata Lele French, who is also the special guest of honor, praises Nigeria for its contribution to peacekeeping in the sub-region, including in the Gambia.
The nation has come a long way and has contributed tremendously to the growth of Africa. Indeed, Nigeria continues to play a major role in peacekeeping in the sub-region. Without peace, there can be no sustainable growth and development. I therefore wish to call on everyone here to join hands in promoting peace in the ECOWAS region and indeed all over the world.
Nigeria is Africa's largest economy and most populated country with over 200 million people belonging to 371 ethnic groups. The Nigerian economic contingent are part of an ECOWAS intervention force which has been in the Gambia since January 2017. The other initial contributing countries being Senegal, Ghana, Mali and Togo. In December 2022, it was announced that the mission's mandate had been extended to the 1st of January 2024. We wish Nigeria a belated happy independence anniversary. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, QTV News.
In a bid to strengthen democracy, good governance and facilitate accountability, the Westminster Foundation for Democracy held a town hall meeting on Saturday with National Assembly members and citizens on the role of National Assembly members. Jenna Bosanko tells us more.
The meeting forms part of the Westminster Foundation for Democracy's efforts to strengthen the relationship and effective engagement between the National Assembly and citizens. The interface featured the Children and Social Welfare and Finance and Public Accounts Committees with a clear focus on their work and powers. The National Assembly carries the greatest responsibility to ensure that the rule of law prevails, human rights are protected, and social goods and services are delivered. However, their roles and functions are often misunderstood. Usman Jallo from Westminster Foundation explains.
It is important that you raise your concern because you have this opportunity face-to-face with the National Assembly members, two key committees within the National Assembly. So it's important that you raise your questions, your concerns, and because we have members from the student body, from Child Protection Alliance, Activista, and other organizations also represented here.
The Gender, Children and Social Welfare Committee is a new committee brought about by the establishment of the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare in 2019. Suhaibu Toure, the National Assembly member for Wuli East and member of the Gender, Children and Social Welfare Select Committee, explains the role of select committees.
Now, the role of the committees is to deal with almost every aspect of life in the Gambia. So the National Assembly looks at all those issues that are pertinent relating to the lives of the people and create a committee to address that particular issue.
Suleiman Jama, the National Assembly member for Bundung, applauds the Westminster Foundation for Democracy for providing the opportunity to raise public awareness about their work, thereby encouraging citizen participation.
On behalf of my committee, FPAC committee, I want to definitely thank Westminster Foundation for Democracy for the cordial relationship and the partnership that has been existing in between us to ensure that at least we promote accountability and transparency, and which I think is one of the key issues that we are going to talk about, because as you know, FPAC is the Finance and Public Accounts Committee, and most of the time we look at MDAs, accounts of government and agencies account and their activities. And in fact, during the budget session, FPAC, they play a crucial role to ensure that at least we scrutinize all the budget before we take it to plenary.
Established in 1992, the Westminster Foundation for Democracy is a United Kingdom non-departmental public body set up to support democratic institutions across the world. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Bosongo.
The Ministry of Health, in partnership with the World Health Organization, commenced a 4-day forum on Tuesday on polio-related integrated disease surveillance for more than 50 participants from various African countries. Loli M. Camara has the details.
This high-level convergence on multi-country capacity building brought together 11 Francophone countries to discuss and build capacities of their members on the integrated polio surveillance in the African region. The World Health Organization takes a leading role for the implementation of health and immunization programming, including polio, through the Global Polio Eradication Initiative. Since then, giant strides have been made to eradicate the virus. In his welcome remarks, WHO country rep Dr. Desta Turini spoke of the need for African countries to strengthen their surveillance systems to fight against diseases and be able to contain them on time.
This workshop will provide an opportunity to address gaps, harness technological innovations, and adopt new methods to improve the quality and timeliness of our surveillance systems. As we work towards the ultimate goal of polio eradication, it's crucial that we maintain a sensitive and efficient polio surveillance system globally. This will allow us to promptly detect any resurgence of viruses and provide evidence of its absence also, if we manage to contain all the transmission.
In 1998, when the Global Polio Eradication Initiative, GPEI, was launched, polio was present in more than 125 countries and paralyzed about 1,000 children per day. Thanks to immunization efforts that have reached nearly 3 billion children, the incidence of polio has decreased by 99% since then. Dr. Nduktebe Mojirom is the Rapid Response Team Coordinator, Polio Outbreaks, WHO Regional Office for Africa.
So we are here in the Gambia to train our people, Francophone one, to strengthening their capacity to detect very early all polio cases in our region here, and working to implement very, very quickly the response to stop the circulation of all types of polioviruses, and so that in 2024 probably we will end this circulation in our region and go for the eradication of the polio in the world. So I want really to thank the Gambian government to host this meeting here in Banjul.
At the end of the meeting, it is hoped that participants to be deployed in the field will have the capacity and be well equipped to tackle the spread of poliovirus in the sub-region and lead to its eradication. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
Now, before we end this news bulletin, a look at our top stories. President Barrow received Saudi Arabia's Tourism Minister Ahmed bin Ahli Al-Khatib, Special Envoy of His Majesty King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, at the State House on Tuesday. The National Human Rights Commission and UN partners in the Gambia Tuesday commemorated the 75th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Today, the 10th of October, is World Mental Health Day, set aside to raise awareness of mental health issues around the world. The Ministry of Health and partners commenced a 4-day forum on Tuesday on polio-related integrated disease surveillance for more than 50 participants from various African countries. The Westminster Foundation for Africa, the Westminster Foundation for Democracy, held a town hall meeting on Saturday with National Assembly members and citizens on the role of the National Assembly. That's all in this edition of the news. Thank you very much for watching, but don't forget to join us at 10 for another bulletin.